Hi, my name is Winnie. Welcome to my channel. Asante sana for subscribing. Asante sana for watching my videos. Asante sana for your feedback, both online and offline. Thank you very much. And this last week I've been thinking about something, and I've just been thinking about how empty life is when we just live for ourselves. You know, I call it the barren life. When we just live for ourselves, our life becomes so empty. Do you know why? Because God created us for so much more than that. God created us to live for others, to make this world a better place. And it's impossible to just live for yourself and to be happy, all right? So, and that brings me to my topic of the day today. I want to talk about helping others or giving to others. So, and of course, number one, I want to talk to us about how ways in which we can give. And number two, benefits of helping others or giving others. Number three is the things to consider when giving, or how then do we give in a healthy way, right? So of course, number one, I just want us to know that at one point or another we will need someone's help, or they will need our help. So helping others is something we cannot avoid, all right? I think let us get that out of the way before we even go into the types of giving. So types of giving or ways of giving. Number one is by giving knowledge. So like what I'm doing right now, I'm sharing knowledge of what I know to you guys, or sometimes even when I share, I learn something as well, you know. So number one is to share knowledge. Whatever it is that you know or you've experienced, you go and you share with other people. That is number one way of helping. Another way of helping is getting to know what other people like and what they value, and giving to them that which they value. You know, we live in a society where we insist on giving to others what it is that we think they need, rather than just asking them. You know, I like how we live in interesting times. We've never had so much information, ever. We have a lot of information, and people have used this information to know themselves deeper. So if you're like me, you have your loved ones, you have people who are close to you, the best way to help them is to understand what is valuable to them, and then to give them what is valuable to them. This will avoid wasting a lot of resources, you know, just by giving what you think people need, and maybe that is not what they need. Number three is sharing an opportunity. So for example, you come across an opportunity of a job, and you know a friend of yours or a relative, you know, needs a job. You share with them the opportunity, or maybe a scholarship, or whatever it is, whatever opportunity it is that you'd like to share with them. So when we share an opportunity, that is another way of giving. Another way of giving as well is sharing honest and open feedback. So when we see a person making a mistake, and when we decide to share open and honest feedback, what happens is then we help them to become a better version of who they are. The other thing is to volunteer to help a person. So for example, your friend has gotten a child, and you volunteer to go and just spend a whole week or maybe 2 weeks, you know, helping them, you know, to rest, and helping them around their house. Maybe they don't have a house girl, maybe they can't afford a house girl, or maybe they're a single mother, whatever it is. Sometimes we volunteer to help a person. And the other thing also is we volunteer to spend time with others. So rather, we create time to spend with others. So obviously, for our loved ones, for the people who are close to us, it's important to always create time to spend with them. That is another way of giving. And another way of giving as well is, of course, giving gifts. So when it's someone's birthday, when it's someone's maybe they've gotten a job, maybe they've moved into a new house, whatever it is, giving gifts is another way. And of course, there are different other ways of giving, and these are just a number of them that I could pick and share with you guys. And of course, let me tell you, helping others is not easy. It takes resources, it takes energy, it takes time, it takes a lot from us. And most of us would rather just give up than, you know, giving of ourselves to others. But again, we live in a space where giving to others is so necessary, you guys, and we cannot avoid it. And of course, it has its benefits, and allow me to talk about the benefits of giving to others. Number one, when we give to others, we feel connected to one another. So that means when we don't give, what happens? We feel disconnected, right? So when we give to other people, we feel connected, because you kind of feel you understand my need, I understand your need, we kind of meet each other's needs, so we feel connected. Number two is we build new relationships. So when you go to a place and you offer to help, for example, you see it's very important for people to be drawn to you, and then they're like, this is actually a good person, and then you build on new relationships. Number three also is you improve on your relationships. You know, we live in a season where people have become so selfish. The Bible says that in the end times, people will be lovers of themselves. They'll be selfish. They'll just think of self. So helping others makes us feel that we are interconnected in a way, and of course it makes us improve on our relationships, because when we're sensitive to other people's needs, what happens is then we get to improve on our relationships. Then the other one, the other benefit of giving to others or helping others is it makes us feel grateful. You know, sometimes when you're in a position to give to another person, whether it's energy, whether it's time, whether it's knowledge, you kind of, it puts you in a place to actually appreciate the fact that you know something that someone else doesn't know, but not in a prideful kind of way, but more like in a way that you have something that you can give. And I like, today morning I was listening to something that says God did not create junk. So he has made us with something. He has given us something to each one of us. So I may be able to give you knowledge, but maybe you may be able to give me money. You may be able to give me whatever it is, you know, your time, you know, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be just one thing, all right? And all of us have something to give. So we can't say that you don't have something to give. Another benefit of giving is it makes us live longer, yeah? Because it reduces stress. You know, sometimes when you live life alone, I don't know if someone has noticed, if you live life alone, in fact, there's a barrenness in a lonely life. When you live life alone, you don't even get new ideas, you don't even get you know, appreciation, you know, just someone telling you thank you. You know, there are those things that God created us to be to in a position to want to receive. When you don't know that feeling when you give to someone and they tell you thank you. And so there's great happiness that comes when we uplift others, right? And then the other benefit of giving is it expands our identity. So when we get out of our own life and we go and we try to help another person who could be having less of what we have, or they may not be having what we have, right? So that helps you to expand your identity, because then it improves your self-worth, you know, and that changes how you see things. You know, you start being appreciative. And the other one is you build your reputation as a giver, because I know so many people who rarely give, and of course their reputation is always we're in Mkonogamu, their life is just for their own. It's not a good reputation to have. So when you're a giver, you build a reputation of being a giver. And the other one is it boosts our self-esteem. You know, when we're able to you know, to give to another person and to know that another person has less than what we have, I think it kind of boosts our esteem. We know that and of course we also appreciate what others have, because sometimes it boosts your self-esteem, because you kind of know that this is what I have and this is what someone else has, but this is unique to me, that is unique to them. It kind of boosts your esteem in that sense. Then I think it's important to also ask ourselves this question: how come that sometimes when we give, it leaves us feeling a certain kind of way? How then do we give in a way that does not stress us? How then do we give in a way that fulfills us? How then do we give in a way that is healthy? Yeah? How then do we give in a way that is healthy? Because we've been called to be givers, right? Because even the Bible says that God loves a cheerful giver. But some of us, it's very hard. In fact, you're not a cheerful giver, but I'll tell you why. I think I'm just going to share how then, what the things to consider when we're giving. So number one of the truths that we have to consider is, number one, someone out there will always need your help. All right? Someone out there will always need your help. Okay? That is number one. Number two is that at some point you will need someone's help. You understand? So it's important to always to always accept that, and to always be in a balanced kind of way mentally, even not to just think that I don't want to give because these people never give. Sometimes you may be the one in a place where you will need help. All right? Number three is the other thing that we need to accept is that you can never give to everyone. All right? Your resources are limited, your time is limited, your energy is limited. You can never give to everyone. You can't give to everyone your time, you can't give to everyone your money, you can't give to everyone again. So you can give, but you can't give to everyone. It's impractical to think like that you can give to everyone. And then number four is you cannot say yes to every request. Of course, the resources that we have are limited. You cannot say yes to every request that comes your way. So there are others you have to say no, there are others you have to say yes. That is how life is, in a balanced kind of way. It can't just be yes, yes, yes throughout, right? And then the other, number five, is it's important to have healthy boundaries and communicate these boundaries. You know, so many of us talk about having boundaries, but you know, you can have unhealthy boundaries, right? Healthy boundaries are those boundaries that keep the other person safe and you as well safe. And this brings me to the other point, which is you have to learn to say no with the right tone. Because so many of us, if we have to say no, we will run over the other person, just because we're not used to saying no. So learn to say no. It's okay. And learn to say your no in the right tone. It's okay. It's not the end of the world just because you said no. Okay? And then the other point I want to share is, and of course, keep a positive tone when you're saying no. That is what we've said. And the other one is avoid giving just for the sake, or to keep the peace, or to get that person off your back, because that then creates another issue. So always give from a cheerful heart. Always give from a place that is, free. Always give from a place that is not under coercion, or not under, those feelings, the resentment that you always feel when you're giving. Avoid giving from that place. And again, of course, know when to say no. So apart from saying no in a healthy way, know when to say no. Know when you don't have what to give, something to give, and it's okay. Make peace with the fact that sometimes you may not have something to give, and it's just okay. And again, the other thing I want to teach us is know when to walk away from relationships that always take and take and take from you. Because sometimes we create an environment that becomes impossible for us to give by overstaying in a place where others are taking advantage of us. And if you're a people pleaser, be very careful. It's important to start drawing boundaries. And the other point I want to share is, remember that your needs also matter. So even as you're helping other people, remember that your needs also matter, So it doesn't make sense if you have 50 shillings and someone is asking you for 50 shillings and you give the whole 50 shillings and you need food. So remember that your needs also matter. It's okay to share with others, but it's okay to take you as well, or to consider yourself as well, all right? And then the other one is identify relationships or situations that make you resentful, that make you overwhelmed, and take a step back and analyze why you're feeling like that. And when you have answers, act accordingly, all right? You know what? At the end of the day, again, the other point I want to share is that know when you're not in a position to give. So know when you're tired, know when your plate is full, know when you are not in a place to give another person. It's okay, because all of us cannot just be yes people every day, all right? So I know that giving is not easy, and I know that a lot of times we want to say no, but it's so hard to say no, of course, depending on who it is. Sometimes even to our own parents, sometimes even to our friends, sometimes even to our own children, sometimes even to our own spouses, sometimes to our neighbors, sometimes to our workmates. Even when a person comes to work and you're in the middle of something and you can't say no, we have to learn to say no, okay? And the other, the other challenge that we may have is avoid promising to give tomorrow only to get that person off your back in the meantime. So if it's a no, make sure it's a no. If it's a yes, make sure it's a yes. Don't try to push it for tomorrow. There are those people who, when people come to get help from you, you say, I'll give you tomorrow, I'll do this tomorrow. But tomorrow, you know very well you will not do. So avoid the temptation to promise for tomorrow something which you know you will not do, all right? So I pray that you've learned something. I've learned something, and I keep on learning. My life is... I think I'm a student of life, yeah? I've had someone else say this to me before, and it's something that I've always felt for a very long time. I'm a student of life. I learn from my friends, I learn from myself, my own life, my choices. I learn from God, I learn from the Bible, I learn from the books I read, and I love reading so much. So I pray that you've learned something about helping others, and I pray that you will know that this is a journey again. You'll not wake up one day and you just know how to perfectly help each other. It's a journey. The things I'm still learning, the things I'm still, seeking just to get to learn. And I pray that you will learn to give yourself grace even in days where you fail. But I pray that you've learned something as well, okay? So God bless you. Have a fantastic, fantastic day, and see you next time.